What's going on, creatives? In this video, I wanted to get into a layer breakdown of a photo manipulation that I did. And really the goal is to look at Photoshop and generative fill along with Midjourney in creating photo manipulations. Now, there's a big controversy out there on whether or not we should use AI art to create photo manipulations. And this one, I'm going to kind of show you where I think there's a line for artists out there where this makes sense, especially for those of us who do this as a hobby and spending hours upon hours looking for assets. Maybe not something we want to go through, but we can get those assets from AI art and bring our ideas together. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is the first image. This is the base image, and take two. Okay, what's up, creatives? I wanted to get into this video and talk about photo manipulation. What's up, creatives? Oh, take three. What's up, creatives? So in this video, I'm going to show you how I did this photo manipulation using generative fill, using images that I found on the internet, and using AI art from Midjourney. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's this controversy that says we should not use, as artists, should not use AI art to create photo manipulations. That is unfair. And I'm going to push back against that a little. I understand partially I understand it, so I'm not going to, get on my high horse here about AI. But part of me saying for those of us who for me, there is a case to be made for those of us who use photo manipulations as a hobby. We are not trying to make money. We are not trying to grow a channel. We're not teaching this stuff as a YouTube channel or anything. We're just using photo manipulations as a means to stretch our creative juices and have a little fun. And for those of us in that space, I say it's fine. And in this video, I'm going to kind of walk through the layers that I've created in doing this. And just to show you how it's not too far off from what you would typically do, except you're not going out hunting for all of the assets. So let's start here. This first image, this one, it came from Midjourney, and basically what I did was I put in a prompt because I wanted a forest. Okay, so, and the prompt for this is dead forest, petrified trees, desolate landscape, dark fantasy concept art. That's all I did. And we get this. Okay. Now you can see that I wanted a 4x5 space, so I have this fill right here. So this is where generative fill came in. So I used the generative fill here to fill out the rest. Did a pretty good job. You wouldn't even know that that's what I did, but that's the beauty of generative fill. The next was the clouds. Okay, so these clouds are here. They're not really all that dynamic. So I went out, found a photo of some clouds. So this is not AI art, and simply did what we typically do in this and put a mask on it. From there, I have this layer here set to normal. Is just to brighten up this space in the center here, put a little depth there, and that's pretty much it. The next one was this image here. This again is AI art. We can zoom in on it so you can see what it is. Okay, and for this one again was just a long shot of a stone castle in the distance, fog with pale blue lights, color tone night, a full moon night, amber glowing. It has some amber glowing something in there. Let me see. yeah, amber glowing light in the windows. So there's the amber glowing light in the windows. All right. So that's it. And then, of course, put a mask on it. And then I used this. It was kind of, I upscaled this, but it still seemed a little blurry. So I used an unsharp mask to sharpen it up just a little bit. And at that point, I just did what we typically do. I put a brightness because, again, the concept is it's in the distance, so it should be brighter than anything that's closer. Hue saturation to really just get all the color out of it. And then a color balance layer to kind of blend this color in with the rest of the background here. So that's pretty much it. And then I put a fog over it. Again, to blend it in and brighten it up a little bit. And this just a normal brush, white brush with a, just a white brush. Okay. All right. So there's the base. Then I did the dragon. And my dragon, let's see, I think I did a long shot, wide angle, full body, blue spiked dragon, spiked tail, blue atmosphere, blue skin, red eyes, dark fantasy concept art. And this is what I got. Okay. So again, with the dragon, we go in and we put the mask on. And of course, there's a lot of work to do with this dragon because it looks nothing like the background here. So the first thing was the hue saturation, and we had to get all of that color out and make it a little bit darker. The second was the color balance, and you can see it's subtle, but I put a color balance on it. Another bright and contrast layer. Did the levels just to darken it up just a little bit more, and then we started adding some highlights. And this is just a layer set to linear dodge, painted some orange lights on the eyes. This is just to get the eyes. And then we have this layer just to darken, basically put some shadows here on the foot. Created some more shadows. And that was it. Okay. So again, if we talk about photo manipulations, this is typically what we would normally do. Now, again, the only difference is that this is AI art that we've been working with. So we have 3 layers with AI art, and here is where we go in and we start putting in some real pictures. Okay, so add the flame. Let's turn them off so we can do individually. So we wanted this pit. There's a lake. There's a little water puddle down here. I wanted to make a fire puddle, so I did that. And placed put a mask on it. Took this fire and again, put a mask on it. And then took this image here. Now I did a lot of stuff with as far as the transform, warped it a little bit, but put that here, put a mask in. I could have made this a little bit brighter, did a little more to it, but I just wanted it to be subtle. And then put a curves on it just to kind of give it a little more contrast to it. So a little curves adjustment layer just to add more contrast. So there's the fire, and you can see it's still kind of coming together, but not there yet. And then we have the night. So the night on the bottom here, just a little a shadow. We'll see that in a second here, but put a mask on it. All right. Put a unsharped, put this filter on it, put an unsharp filter just to sharpen it up a little bit. So if I take this off, You can see the difference. And I just wanted that to be a little sharper, so I put an unsharp mask on it. And again, we start putting with the color balance, add a little blue to it, hue and saturation, darken it up a little bit, desaturate it just slightly, added some highlights to it, so we put some highlights on it, and the highlights again is just a linear dodge layer with painted in the orange, and I grabbed the orange from the fire. Another brightness, and you can see I dropped this brightness down quite a bit. You can see that, and then one more layer. A layer, set the soft light filled with a 50% gray, and then painted in some more shadows, and that's it. Okay. So this is the composite. All right. So this is the composite, and then from here I did Control Shift Alt E to create a stamped layer. Combine everything together. Let's go ahead and turn this off. So combine everything into one so I can do my unsharp mask. So just sharpen it up a little bit, and then the camera raw. And this camera raw, basically the only thing I did is, and I kind of like this with camera raw, there is all of these presets, and I just simply came in here and I selected one of my favorites, this favorite preset here, and then I hit OK. Okay. But then I did another Control Alt Shift E, and then I did another Control Alt Shift E, so I can just combine all of that, and did one more camera raw filter. This time I came in and you can see I upped the shadows, upped the blacks a little bit, and pretty much this is it. I don't think I did anything with the curves. Didn't do anything with details. Typically sometimes with optics I may come in and do something, but didn't do anything there. Effects, no vignetting, no gain. So the only thing I did was just up the shadows, up the blacks, and that's just to make it a little bit brighter. I just wanted a little bit brighter. I thought it was, sometimes when I do these, it's a little dark, and I just wanted to brighten it up a little bit. Okay. And of course, when I do these, I keep track of them. So Q231. So I've done 231 of these different type of photo manipulations. But overall, I enjoy doing this simply because I went out, I found the photos that I needed to find, mainly the fire and the sky. I found the main assets. So the main assets are this background, the night, the castle, and the dragon. So 4 of the images here. So I have 4 main images that kind of build everything here. So I got my knight, my dragon, background, and the castle. So we have 4 main images. We have a couple of other images in here just to kind of bring it together, like again, the fire and the sky. And we created the photo manipulation like we normally do. You know, if I were to go out and just try to find this knight and try to find the dragon, and then sometimes you don't find the perfect dragon, so you have to find 6 or 7 different dragons and animals and piece them together, it takes a lot of time. Versus going to Midjourney, just going in, getting the dragon, and now that Midjourney allows you to zoom, even if you don't get the full image, you can always zoom out and start to get that full image. Makes getting assets a little easier. And again, for those of us who are doing this as a hobby, we're not trying to teach people. We're not trying to make money with it. We're not trying to pretend that we're some great artists. I think AI art with photo manipulations, I think there's something. I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that yes, you should use it in certain conditions. I certainly wouldn't try to get over on a client that I'm making them something and I'm not using AI art. So I wouldn't do that. So if I were trying to, let's say, design a book cover where I know that there are copyright issues, I would certainly find assets that I could license. And so the publisher and that client is protected by copyright. So definitely do that. But if it's just a hobby, I say go out there, use the AI art, have fun with it, and be creative. Okay. So that's it. I just want to really bring that to the forefront and talk about this. So hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will probably link all of the assets that I've used, and you can just go ahead and have fun with them yourselves. All right. All right. All right. So thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share the video if you like the content that I am doing here.